Welcome to Philosophy and Shit with Sean. Let's talk about some potentially woo-woo shit, but in a very grounded and practical way. I'm talking about the idea of manifestation. Manifestation is defined in the dictionary as an event, action, or object that clearly fucking shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract idea. Except I added the fucking part for your auditory pleasure. You're welcome. Now, the following is for everyone. Those with pragmatic sensibilities, those who are scientifically minded, and spiritual and religious motherfuckers too. Let's break this shit down. So for spiritually minded folks, manifestation is a method of making shit happen in your life by using the faculty of mind, emotion, and energy. There's kind of a split crowd regarding this shit. It seems folks either think it's all bullshit, or they dive headfirst in, believing it because they want it to be true. I think a healthy amount of skepticism is important, but if a motherfucker has an overly rigid belief structure, they're gonna miss out on some shit, like trying to shove 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound sack. I also don't think diving all in to a theory just because you want that shit to be true is healthy. It's important to turn information into knowledge by experimenting and experiencing shit your own damn self. This whole concept's a fucking onion. Let's peel the first layer. The first layer is attention. What we look for, we see. Seek and ye shall fucking find. You ever think about buying a certain kind of car and suddenly you see that type of car all over the fucking place? Like that. We've evolved to notice threats and resources, and if we harness that attention, we can aim not only to desired objects, but towards opportunity as well. And that's just psychology shit there. Okay, let's peel the next layer. Reality is way fucking stranger than our minds can handle. We've evolved to only see 0.0035 fucking percent of reality. What the fuck, right? There's so much shit going on that we cannot perceive. Ever heard of quantum entanglement? Albert Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. It's when the measurement of one particle will instantaneously influence the properties of another entangled particle, even if it's on the other side of the fucking universe. So there's an experiment called the double slit experiment. Slit. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. The double slit experiment shows that light is both wave and particle. It's called a wave function collapse, and if you blast some photons towards two slits and don't measure or observe it, it shows up on the detector on the other side of the slits as an interference pattern, indicating a wave. But if you observe one slit or the other, a fucking particle will come out of that particular slit that's being observed or measured every fucking time, and present as such on the detector. Even if one photon is sent downrange and not observed, it comes out both slits and presents as a wave. Reality is a probability wave until observed, then it's particles and shit. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Reality is affected by our observation and expectation. Reality is fucking weird. This isn't really new shit. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Speak or act with an impure mind, and trouble will follow you, as the wheel follows the ox that draws the cart. We are what we think. Speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you, as your shadow, unshakable." He said a bunch of other shit about this, but this isn't a fucking lesson in Eastern religion. This is a breakdown and a how-to, because no words, including these words, mean shit without your direct experience. First of all, you gotta make your mind your bitch. If you can't quite do that, then you gotta fool it. Manifestation, step 1. You're gonna fuck it up. A lot of folks will say like, "I wish I'd win the fucking lottery," and then in a couple days their bills are piling up and they say, "Fuck this shit, it doesn't work." This is a twofold fuck up. Wishing for something implies that it does not currently exist. It's a carrot on a stick. What the fuck is a quantum probability wave supposed to collapse into with such wishy-washy bullshit intent? Same with hope. Hope holds the seed of its opposite, which is maybe the shit ain't gonna happen after all. You've got to command the fucking universe. The other fuck up is thoughts that are contrary to the original. I want this, but it seems like it's not fucking working. Or you change your mind, or you see something shiny. Fuck off! Whatever the fuck. In our dreams, our world can morph or change instantly because consciousness is very subtle in the dream world. But in our waking waking state, matter is more dense. However, a quantum possibility wave that has collapsed into atoms is still barely fucking anything at all. Atoms are 99% emptiness with an electron whirling around a nucleus, and said electron is in a superposition, which means its position is wherever you fucking look for it. Now, I'm not a fucking physicist, I'm just telling you this shit so you can loosen your paradigm a bit and make some room for a possibility that is not our normal way of thinking about reality. I'm trying to give you some fucking wiggle room. Reality is fucking weird. Okay, step 2, give the quantum wave or the substratum of consciousness or your concept of God or spirit or spooky action, magic, whatever the fuck you want to go with is fine, but give it something to do. Don't wish or hope, don't want or have faith. Don't believe, fucking know. You have to know something exists despite the fact that it's not showing up in your sensory perception long enough for matter to catch up. Why isn't everyone winning the fucking lottery with this shit? Because it's fucking hard. Millions of years of evolution are what you're up against, among other things. So we need a fucking tool. It's generally not very easy to believe that we can manipulate our reality with thought. So we have tools like some folks use prayer to an omnipotent being who we can manage to believe has some power over shit. Some Eastern religions chant mantras. Earlier religions or Wiccan folks put the power of their consciousness into natural materials, herbs, stones, whatever, and imbue them with intent to make shit happen. There's lots of fucking examples, but I'm going to give you mine, and you don't need a book or a guru or a payment plan or a fucking seminar. The tool is gratitude. Gratitude for something implies it is in existence here and now, and you're all about it. And if our dumbass doesn't ping pong from gratitude to the observation of lack, you'll find that crazy shit starts happening. This isn't really that fucking mysterious, people. We're all doing this all the fucking time. We're just unconsciously manifesting. And we're loosey-goosey about what we aim our attention towards. Reality is a blanket. We weave it with the thread of our own thoughts. And we don't just weave the good shit, we weave the bad too. Example, if you're a fearful person and fear is represented as red thread, then the blanket of reality you're weaving before you will have a lot of fucking red in it, duh. And by both virtue of what you pay attention to and the strange interaction between consciousness and matter, a lot of scary shit's gonna happen to you. You might want to pick another fucking color. You might want to start looking for beauty and positivity and safety or whatever. And forge a new neural pathway in your wrinkly pink meat computer whilst you simultaneously go through withdrawals from all the shitty negative brain chemicals your cells have created receptors for, like hungry little mouths crying for more fear, more outrage, more fucking drama. Social media platforms have been built upon our own brain chemical addictions. It's a fucking thing. Shit's not easy until you understand what's up. We manifest in equal measure our aspirations and our limitations, our conscious and our subconscious thoughts. But it's like the Buddha said. He said, hey, don't be a dumbass. You're either the fucking ox leading the way or you're the fucking cart being drugged by the ox through the manure of its shitty thoughts. End quote. If you can combine gratitude with a deep emotion like excitement, then this shit becomes more effective. Crazy effective. I'm talking about like that fucking excited tingle in your guts when you're about to kiss someone for the first time or your first hand job, whatever. But make it intense like that. If you manage this, then get ready for some shit in your life to break. That's another obstacle. You may start forcing reality to collapse into your desires, but in order to do so, it might have to break some old shit that is preventing it. And our own impetus freaks us the fuck out, and we slow our roll, and our momentum is thwarted, and back to dumbass default manifestation mode we go. Okay, where are we? Stage 3? I think so. So let's say stage 3 is that you've learned through experience that there really is something to this shit, doing it consciously to some degree. And the more you see it work, the stronger your intent and gratitude grows, and the less inherent thoughts of limitations counteract the process. And then hopefully you gain some fucking wisdom. This wisdom is the realization that we're a bunch of dumbasses, and although we've learned to weave reality into what we want, how the fuck do we know what ultimately the best fucking thing is? So stage 3 is called fuck it, and you surrender to the flow of existence. Water doesn't try to flow uphill, sunshine is not fucking cold, birds don't nest underwater, gophers don't hang out in fucking trees. Only we try and do shit against the natural flow of things. If you've purified your mind sufficiently and surrendered to the flow with gratitude that the actual fucking best thing will happen in accordance with said flow, then you will thus break out of your deeply rooted, inaccessible thoughts of limitation. And buckle up, buttercup, because fuck, shit's gonna go down and life becomes extraordinary. You see, you might manage to manifest abundance, but not too much because of some background notion of what's possible or what you can believe or deserve or some other planted thing back in your brain that's taken root and is governing your process. That shit's hard to get at, but if you become water, you'll just flow. You sink into every crack of possibility. You erode paradigms in your mind. You'll carve canyons exposing the wakeful emptiness that you actually are. Or don't. I'm not the fucking boss of you. You are the boss of you. You are the fucking boss of reality, whether you know it and whether you want to be it or not. You are the entirety of existence, trying to squeeze its ass through the tiny aperture of the human mind. Remove those mental filters and you'll see some shit. So whether you're spiritually minded, scientific, religious, or whatever the fuck, I hope you can take away something from this. Whether it's just trying to see the fucking bright side 51% more than the shitty side of things, or if you want to take this shit all the way, I hope you have some measure of success. And I hope you don't just take my word for it and that you go figure it the fuck out for your own self. Toodaloo.